Okay, today we're going to be working on the realistic flower with some green glass ladybugs. And this is an art trading card size miniature piece here. And I have been doing a lot of them time lapse. I did a little bit of a mix in this video where I'm showing at the end and walking through and talking about some of the very little final details. So that's coming. It'll be just at the end of this video. And if you do love this kind of creative and maker stuff, videos, I'm not only doing paintings, but I have a couple cooking videos and probably have some more of those. We're going to be doing some really cool, unique and creative building and just all sorts of fun stuff. It's the impromptu life, right? Okay, so if you love creating and making and gardening and cooking and just whatever, then please like and subscribe and join the fun. I also welcome comments and feedback. Now, the majority of this particular one I did do in the time lapse, but like I said here in the end with some of my very final touch-ups on just how to make the piece pop, and also I went ahead and did a little bit of, added a little bit of humidity to the piece, I guess is, I don't know the right way of saying it, but so that part is coming up here, and I hope you really enjoy this whole piece. It's been fun. I love this one. I'm really torn with my ladybugs. So I have these 3 glass ladybugs, but the size of the black spots I'm losing some of the green. I feel like this flower over here is not magenta and white enough. Everybody else is supposed to be in the background and pushed back further. Flower is looking really good because it's looking quite 3D-like, which is just the painting effect. I'm a little disappointed with the shadow of the stem on here. See, my biggest thing are our glass ladybugs here. I'm gonna try that first. I want them as much as the flower to be the subject, right? I think everybody's dry on here, I think. Mixed up. I can't tell you how much I love this container I bought for the colors. Just really easy to grab my acrylics and they stay wet is what we're gonna go with here. I do love, in one of my last paintings, the bright green ladybugs and the glass. Look, so let me see if I can just glass these up a little bit more. Got the shine from the light behind them. I want them to have their black spot on the side. Let me get the other ones tied in here. They are my little green ladybugs. This one's got more of a top view. Ladybug, I don't know how I can see that there. Yellow mixed in here. Because the light's hitting from up here, where the light's hitting the ladybug, it'll be lighter on the back end, where that curvature of the glass is going to catch that light. Curvature of the glass is the opposite end of your shine mark. Got some hair there. See how our shine's right there? So we're going to put that brightest part here and a little bit of reflection down on our leaf. And I'm just using the straight yellow for that part. And we'll let it see what it does, because again, we're going to have it, will dry a little darker being in the acrylics here. It's a little bit more light, a little bit more leaf colors here. I was doing the water droplets here that I really kind of wanted more of the shine More of a fantasy, fairy look, glowy little lights, and I got it, and I'm not sure if again, I don't want to ruin what I did. Oh shoot, I just put my finger in the yellow. So I don't really want to, I don't know what I'm doing. Don't really want to like ruin what we were like doing. Let me hold it up a little bit closer. Not lighting here. A little bit more of like a glow, like the lights bouncing off the leaves and stuff. And I very easily can go overboard, let's put it that way. Like I kind of started going a little bit extreme with our little water droplets and stuff, and I'm like, well, we don't want to go overboard. Get some of our little highlights in here. And this white has just a little touch of yellow to warm that up and to make it more shiny, more bright, instead of a flat white. I think I need to fix that little spot on the ladybugs back there, but they're definitely standing out more now. What I mean by like when I'm coming down here and doing little shines is sometimes if you just get that in the right spot, it's more of a glowing shine. Those points. I'm gonna take the majority of the paint off because I don't want it to be too dark. I want it to be a little bit transparent, a little bit see-through, a bit as though smoky, if you will, hazy. Hazy is the word I'm looking for. I just want a little bit of a haze bouncing off here, but I also don't want it to lighten too much around it, so I'm just trying a very thin layer of like a hazy-ish, and we'll see if I can pull that off here without ruining it or anything, because I love the look it's got, and I feel like the brightness looks that way because of the dark and the bluer dark in the background, and I don't want to mess that up. I do want to just get a little bit of a haze, so I'm just going to keep rubbing that little haze up, and I could always go back darker if I have to. I hope you've been enjoying these videos. Again, I might as well kind of remind you now, if you're interested in more creator maker videos, building things, creating things. Right now we've been doing just a lot of art and paintings, but I will have some other things that we will be building and making eventually coming. This is how this light's hitting these little water beads right here. I'm going to have it reflect. Let's see what we got here. Going to have it just reflect a little bit off the bottom of this leaf. Kind of provoke a little bit of just a little bit of a haze here. So I think that looks really, really good. I mean, I don't want to over haze it or anything. I think I will just keep kind of that haze around the flower. Okay, we do need to do a little the magenta and white in this back flower back here. By the time it had dried, it had definitely dried much darker than I wanted it to, but there is a little flower back here. Maybe we can catch just a little bit of flower color down here, a little bit out in the sunshine out here. And we're going to even have this one reflecting off this leaf right here. So I'm going to take some of that color, put it on my brush, and just drag it up here. And you can see this reflection right here too. Let's do a little reflection over here. Oh. A little bit more drastic reflection there, because we likes doing that. Let's do a little reflection off this flower up here that got hit by the light, and maybe a little bit over here because of this flower over here. Can you kind of see what I'm doing? So this, I'm taking it and tying it into the rest of the painting a little bit more by making sure that there's light that bounces off of that, bounces off of, and a little bit onto some objects around it, and it just gives it a really beautiful effect, as well as kind of ties it in. Like this pink right here is most, you know, like from these petals, because I really wanted the flower to more or less look like it's glowing. Matter of fact, we could probably even do on this curled leaf some of this flower color. Little details makes things can make things look very amazing. Again, the only thing I'm still kind of about is the shadow of the stem. So here's the stem out here, just a little bit here. There's these little cells down in here. I feel like it looks like part of the petal, and it's actually supposed to be the shadow of the stamen there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do some of our little yellow nectar blobs here. I think I might have to put some white into that too. I'm just going to lighten it up here just a little bit, so you can tell that this is actually a separate petal right here. It just, see if I can create it to be more shadowy. Maybe it's the angle come out. I'm gonna have to open up my light blue. I was like gonna try to do with just the basic colors that I needed, but I need to get some more colors involved here. So that's the shadow part there, but there's the petal, and that's the shadow part of the petal. There, okay. Feel a lots better about that. I could, I suppose, brighten up this in here where that's the inside reflecting here a little bit. With acrylics, because you can just keep painting over your acrylics, you really could just sit here and do this all day, where you're like just a little bit lighter, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and keep working it until you've got your flowers and stuff exactly the way you would like them to be. Still not completely satisfied with our magenta up here. There we go. Just, I need a little bit more of that. Okay, so, well, bam, there we go. All right, let's take a closer look at this. Probably have to just sign it down in the little corner. Very, very happy with it. I love the little glass green ladybugs. I think this one right here has a little bit of yellow still in his black little dot. So that's all I gotta fix up there. And maybe I'll do a little signature down here maybe. And I'll sign a fingerprint the back and we will be done with this art trading card original painting. Floral and glass ladybugs. Little collectible card there. Thank you for joining me. See you again soon.